Hello everyone. This week's parasha is Parashat Shoftim. This week the candlelight is 7:25. Shabbat is over 8:33. Now today's Rosh Chodesh Elul. The month of Elul started. It's a time. It's like 1 month before Rosh Hashanah. It's a time when we have to prepare ourselves for the Judgment Day, for that big day, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So the whole month we work on ourselves, try to fix our mistakes, try to become better Jews, better people, and to get closer to Hashem by doing, tshuva, kindness, and changing our bad deeds. The parsha starts with Shoftim veShotrim titen lecha v'chol sha'arecha. So it's interesting. Shotrim always falls around Elul. So Shoftim means judges, and police you should put bechol sharecha, in all your gates, meaning Shoftim, judges, and Shoftim and Shotrim you should put on all your gates, sharecha. It says, the Torah says it in singular. You should have said in plural, in all your gates in plural. What does it mean in your gates? Policemen, like in plural, you should put in your gates, which is singular. So the explanation is given is that Sha'arecha means in your gates, your personal gates. Each one of us has gates. Yeah, we have our eyes, our gates, ears, also our gates, our nose, our mouth. So Shoftim veShotrim titen lecha v'chol sha'arecha, which means you should put judges before your eyes, before your ears, before your nose, before your mouth, which means before you look at something, judge. Should I look at it? Is it permitted? Yeah, is it permitted or not? And then implement it. And then see if it's permitted, so then look. If not, then not. Before you hear, judge. Is it permitted to hear or not? Yeah, is it Lashon Hara or not? Should I listen to it or not? Before you eat, is this kosher or not? Judge. Yeah, a person has to judge before his gates, which we said, eyes, ears, and mouth, and nose. You should put judges to smell, to get angry or not to get angry. All these things we have to put judges. We have to judge ourselves to see, and then only then to implement it, to do shotrim. So that comes right before Elul. During Elul, during the time of Elul, this is the proper time that we must do this. We have to put judges and policemen on us, so we can do things properly and prepare ourselves properly before that special day, the Rosh Hashanah. I would like to say another thing. We have a mitzvah of writing Sefer Torah, and also it says that a king, he has to have. It says in the pasuk, "Ve'aya ki shivto al kiseh mamlachto, ve'katav lo et mishnei haTorah hazot, sefer milifnei hakohanim halviim." So it's interesting. A king had to have two Sefer Torah, 2 copies. Yeah, one he kept with him, and one he would carry with him, and one would be with him in his chambers. So why does he need 2 Sefer Torah? It's interesting. Why does he need 2 Sefer Torah? Like, for example, let's say if I have 2 Sefer Torah, would I become more wiser? Do I have to have two Gemarot? Yeah, 2 Shasim? Would that make me more wiser or not? Like, why does he have to have 2? It's interesting. So the explanation is given is like this, that we know that it says in the Gemara that a person has to be tochol kevaro, which means his inner self is supposed to mirror his outer behavior, which means you have to be outside and inside should be the same. You shouldn't be 2 type of person. Outside you're tzaddik, outside you're a nice person, and then inside when you come home you're a monster. You act like a monster, you scream, you yell, or a person doesn't keep mitzvot. That's you can't be like this. A person has to try to be toho kevaro, has to be inside and outside has to be the same. Now, but there's exception. By who? By a king. A king cannot be toho kevaro. It cannot be inside and outside should be the same. It cannot be by king. Why? Because outside he has to act. He has to show that he's powerful. He has to show that he has to demand respect when he's a king. It's he has to show power. Yeah, but all this is outside. But when he comes home, which means this is really not him. This cannot be him. When he's inside, which means when he is in private, he cannot be that ignorant and like arrogance. He's not all that arrogant or demanding respect and power. No, that's not him. Inside, he has to be a different person. He has to be a calm person. He has to be a tzaddik. He has to be a totally different person. But outside, as a king, he has to demand respect. He has to demand. Everything has to be, with a lot of respect. So that's why by a king, the Torah says he has to have two Sifrei Torah, one outside and one inside. Outside, he has to demand. Yes, he has a certain Sefer Torah, meaning the Torah says that he has to demand respect. He has to show respect. He has to, he has to demand from people respect, and he has to show power. But inside, he also has to have a different Sefer Torah, meaning he has to have also Sefer Torah, which means there it shows him that he has to show his humility inside. He has to show his humility in front of Hashem, meaning he should know himself who he is. He's not that ignorant man, or he's not that powerful man. No, he's a calm person. He's a humble person inside. So that's the mitzvah that we learn from this week's parsha, that all of us, we're not a king, of course. We have to be inside and outside. We have to be the same. We have to try to become the same, of course. But a king, king is different. But us, this doesn't apply to us. By us, we always have to try to be the same, inside and outside. We all have to be the same. Have a great Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.